Go ahead and say something.
I would like to keep talking about your belly because I think that's an important issue. Because it was somewhat disturbing to see it just now.
It was very disturbing.
Yes,
actually,
yes,
yeah.
yes. So. We're on?
Yeah, man, we are on.
Good.
So, this is episode 3, Frankenstill.
Yeah.
Right?
Before we get into that, I wish to go back to your belly just for one moment.
Okay.
All right, and we said exercise is the key here because I know you're not gonna diet. So
1,
I am currently wearing
2,
these
3, 4.
these shoes that have these weird soles on them, and they kind of
They force you to exercise?
force you to inadvertently.
So you're really not 6'4", you're more like 5'7", it's just the shoes do it.
It is, yeah. Well, I don't wear these all the time. I just wore them today because Chantal bought those things like years ago.
Sure.
And I just found them in the closet and I thought, I'll just wear those today and see what happens. So, yes, anyway.
Okay.
Enough with the exercise.
So
Let's carry on.
my belly apparently is a talk of the town around here. So
It is because you displayed it.
I'm gonna get those pants that Chantal has. The ones that have like the sand in them or something. You hear whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Do you know those pants I'm talking about?
No.
She's got these workout pants that have like a type of sand or something in them, and all you hear is whoosh, whoosh, whoosh whenever she's walking around.
All right. Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Anyway, all right.
works.
So episode 3, Frankenstill, which is probably going to be more of like a 2 or 3 part episode, I think, honestly,
I
because
think it probably is because there's a lot of material to cover. And,
Yeah.
And that's not.
That's the gin.
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna drink that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what ended up happening when you put the gin basket on the condenser side. It comes out a different color. So we're actually calling this morning piss is the name for
I'm just gonna give it a small.
You're gonna give it a go?
Yeah,
All right,
just
I'm gonna go
just a
to the
small
bourbon.
one.
So this is a bourbon that we did. Foolishly enough, we're dumbasses, as everybody knows. We didn't have any of the containers with the big mouths on them, and so we just started sticking the wood inside this, but we can't get the wood back out. So
Right.
this is
And
always
by the
going
way-
to stay like this.
I mean, this is not cut yet.
No, no. It
Which I
hasn't,
just remembered.
it
so-
hasn't been proofed.
Yeah, I know. So I'm not gonna have this.
You'll be stumbling out of here. Do you want the bourbon instead?
I do.
Okay, you
I'll
want.
put that in the tree.
It's a
I'm joking. There was nothing in it.
Okay. That's a plastic tree. That's going to melt the plastic.
I know. That was a joke.
Okay. I'm going to have to go back and look at the footage. I bet you did actually dump it in there.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
It smells better. Yeah.
Cool. So we this is actually the second recording of Frankenstill because on the first one,
It is.
after we posted videos, our episode 1 and 2, we realized that there was like a lot of echo. There was a lot of like people couldn't hear us.
Yeah.
The sound was all completely off. The camera sucked because it was this big fisheye. So we ended up getting the lavalier.
So we
body
talked
mics.
about it a lot and did very little.
Yeah.
So yes, we changed the camera.
Yep.
We have individualized microphones, which
Right.
you can see here. So hopefully that will improve the sound.
And then we also
And
got.
we're also going to mute the sound on this, which will improve things greatly.
So you guys don't hear the echo effect.
Exactly.
So, we got to
we're-
put these in then.
We're going to look like DJs here at the mixing station.
Yeah, pretty much. Here you go.
Yep,
There's
yep,
yours.
thank you.
And then there's mine.
Doesn't matter, left or right? No.
Well, I've got. I mean,
Does it say on it?
yes, that's left ear.
All right. So it shall be.
It just feels weird, doesn't it? It's just.
Mine's
strange.
about to pop out again.
Did you have it? You have that up or down? That's got to go up.
I don't know.
Yeah, you got it the wrong way. You got to turn around. They
Oh yeah.
much better, huh?
It sounds squishy.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I hate that sound. All right, so this is. We're gonna go ahead and get started. This is episode 3, Frankenstill. Oh. No.
Right. So Frankenstill is what we dubbed our big still, a big copper still, because we have basically redesigned this over and over again and played around with it, of course.
We have
Then-
murdered that thing.
We did because then a few days ago we noticed how many leaks we actually have in that thing now.
Yeah.
So we spent a good amount of time actually trying to fix them with solder, which
Yeah.
I think worked out
it's what ends up happening when you like start taking these things apart and, you know, moving around and busting them up and everything else like that. You end up breaking seals, and so we had to resolder a few things. But all right, so episode 3, Frankenstill. On this episode of This Old Still, we're going to be doing some modifications. Why? Because it's a day that ends in Y. No, we actually have a few good reasons to do some modifications today, and we do modify all the time. And I think that's the fun for me about all of it, is that, you know, we get to see what works, see what doesn't work. Like the whole still dragon parrot. That thing is amazing. I mean, I absolutely love it. I hate the packaging. Packaging sucked, let's be honest. But other than that, that thing is flipping awesome. So there was a comment on one of the 4 Days of Potomac videos, and I'd have to go back through and find the user, and he brought up a really good point. And it's something that big gin distillers do. They don't necessarily have gin baskets on top of columns. That's not what they do. They run everything essentially as either a reflux or as a pot. It goes down, it shoots over the side, goes into this gin section essentially, goes through that, and then goes out as a distillate. Okay, well, the problem with our setup and most people's home setups is that the gin baskets are always located at the top of the column. So what does that do? Like, why is that an issue for us? Well, if you have botanicals in here, right, and it's at the top of the column, and you have steam, not steam, but alcohol, hot alcohol vapors that are coming up and heating these botanicals up, grabbing flavor, and then continue around to the condenser, what happens when these things start to drip? Like if you get oils that are coming out of the juniper berries, or if you get, you know, whatever. Well, it's too heavy and we have a reflux. So this is just going to drop straight down. It's not going to continue up. So how much flavor are we losing in that action? I'm betting a lot. And moreover than that, can I reduce the amount of ingredients that I have to put in to get a flavor profile that I like if I just move the gin basket to the condensing side? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and take off the condenser, cut this guy right here. I have a whole bracket system that we're going to install, a hanging system for the top weight, just to make sure that this thing is fixed. We're then going to install a gift. So y'all know him, y'all love him. He's the Yoda of distilling. George had made something for us. This is what I'm now dubbing the Dunkinator. This is George's PID. It's one of them. He actually sent us two. He sent us a 110 and then this right here, the 220. And he put this together for us that has obviously the PID controller, an on and off switch, a thing that tells us how many what power, I guess the volts are, I'm not sure exactly until this thing turns on. An on and off switch on this side that controls 2 different heating elements. So we've got, like, now in this whole series right here, we now have 3, actually 4 in this room alone, disconnects for the heating element. We have one at the breaker box, we have a disconnect switch right there, then we have this one right here, and then we can also just manually turn it off right there, which I think is very cool, and I love it, I do. So we're gonna go ahead and take off the old PID, keep it, because you know, once George did some setting tweaks for us based off of what we were running, it was really good. And we're gonna get this guy wired in. We're gonna go ahead and do the gin basket relocation, new support system for the top of the still, all that kind of good stuff. So stay tuned, watch, or don't watch, whatever, your deal. Why I suffer on a Saturday. This is what I do. Alrighty. Oh, yeah. Quick side thing. I have a video that's on the camera right now that I've got to edit and all that kind of good stuff. It's about fermentation. Was that? Okay, it wasn't a moose. It was like a 10-point buck that was making a call. I guess he was horny. So, what was I saying? Shit, I've actually completely forgotten what the hell I was going to say. Day 6, possibly 7. I'll have to figure that one out later on. But we are done with all the still modifications for now. To do a quick rundown of what we've done, we started off by installing this new PID box, and this was from George. This is, I'm calling it the Dunkinator because it's just awesome. It's this big, robust, beastie thing that that is just fantastic. One of the cool features about it is now we have 4 separate ways of shutting off power. 1, we have the breaker, of course. 2, we have a disconnect right here. 3, the PID itself has an on-off switch. And 4, the elements themselves have an on-off switch, which is a really nice feature to have. Only because, like, if I want to do some PID programming, go through, adjust a bunch of settings before I start my run, I can turn the elements themselves off, turn the PID on, and then do all my programming, and then flip on the element. Whereas before, with my other PID, it was hardwired. So when that thing went on, that element went on. It was, you know, you either had to set the temperature way down to what the temperature inside the empty kettle was, or you had to unwire the heating element, which was just a pain in the ass getting into the box and everything. So that's really awesome. We then took apart the entire column, and so from the column end to the condensing end all came apart and got rejiggered because we wanted to do a test based off of a user comment from one of the 4 Days in Potomac videos. They were essentially talking about how gin companies do, and I can't remember the term he said. It's almost like side loading or something, where you have, you know, your column of vapor coming up, going around, then goes down into a gin basket that's not located at the top of the column. And the theory in what he was saying in his comment was essentially that as vapor comes up the column, it hits the botanicals. Those botanicals obviously sweat, and then the heavy elements of that right there, the oils and stuff like that, drip straight down and go into the kettle. And so you're losing a lot of the flavor from that action right there. And it made a lot of sense to us. So the only way that we could do ours, modify ours, to kind of go with what he was talking about, was take the gin basket from the column side and put it over here in the condensing side. Now that was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Believe it or not, you would have thought that it would remain the same height, but no, that's just not how it worked. We tried like all sorts of different possible combinations with this thing, and no matter what we did, it was dropping it down. So I then installed 2 support hangers up there, and the reason for that is that we completely disconnected the condensing column right here, which was, believe it or not, something that we've always kind of wanted to do. Having it up and mounted to this, although very convenient for certain things, really inconvenient for trying to take this thing apart and clean it all. I mean, it was a giant tuba. I mean, you're taking this thing off, it weighs like 45 pounds. You're trying to put it back on by yourself. It was a mess. It was really difficult. So now this is completely separate from the column, which has made things a little bit easier, actually. Then we, of course, put the Still Dragon Parrot on, which I absolutely love that thing. It is amazing, amazing, amazing. And I'm so glad that there were so many people who were commenting on our parrot and the problems that it could be producing. One of the biggest ones was that because it was where its location was, essentially it was creating almost like a lock. And so that's why we were getting a lot of gurgling and all this other kind of stuff. And having it like this with the cup and the venting, it's just been phenomenal. I mean, it's really expensive for a parrot, don't get me wrong. And the packaging sucks. You're spending that kind of money, you're not expecting to get a bunch of parts in a box with freaking styrofoam peanuts. Which, to any company that sells this stuff, please stop using styrofoam peanuts. They're just a giant pain in the ass. They get all over the damn place. You take forever cleaning them up. Yeah, you can go about it where you don't make that much of a mess, but like honestly, just bubble wrap the shit out of this stuff and put it in a box. I'd rather deal with that than styrofoam peanuts. And yeah, we did that. We obviously had to extend some hoses and all that other kind of good stuff because now this was not being relocated, so the incoming water line and the outgoing water line were now too short. I wasn't going to rerun them because I've rerun those stupid things like 6 times now, and I'm not doing it again. I don't care. It's not happening. And then, of course, we put this lateral support here, and that was just to kind of give this thing a little bit more stability. I really wish I could lower this down, but I can't. Just the way that it's set up, I can't. And then we have it, of course, tied up over on this end right here. Couple quick notes. I'm not worried about the plastic that's coated on this side of the lateral support because this doesn't get hot. And I'm not worrying about those blue things that you see up there. Those are actually high temperature silicone, so they won't be affected by the temperatures that are coming at the top of this column. We do have a 3-degree pitch, which is really what you want at a minimum. I mean, you want more than that, honestly, but like at a minimum 3 degrees. So that's what we have right there. I'm ready to do a test, but Andreas isn't here because he's fighting COVID. So he's apparently going to come over tomorrow, and we're going to meet up here, and we're going to do a run, which is fantastic because once we do that and I get some of the weight off of this rack system, I've got to do some modifications to that next too. Problem with that, and there's another video that I'm hoping will be released before this one. We just, the smell from doing washes is horrible. It's really bad. So we were trying to figure out a way to kind of get rid of that. And we tried all sorts of different stuff, and so we eventually went with something that was another George suggestion, and I had seen it in other places, but George kind of really hammered or drove the point home for us. Venting it outside, and there's obviously a few different ways to do that. We looked at doing it where you put the bucket outside and the tube goes down and all that other stupid shit. The problem for our area is that we do get below freezing temperatures, often in the winter. So we didn't want to do that and have like buckets of frozen ice out there that the tube's going into. So we decided that we were going to keep the airlocks and then run the tubes down into the airlocks, then seal the airlocks to the actual tube. And we filled up 4 of these bastards, and yeah, it didn't work. Like, not at all. It smelled horrible in here, upstairs, everywhere. You could smell it. What we ended up discovering and figuring out is that there's so many points of failure doing it that way. So you have where the airlock goes into the lid. You have that little like rubber grommet there. That's a point of failure. You have the top of the airlock where it goes into the tube. It's a point of failure. You have where the tube goes up and connects to the trunk line. That's a failure point. There's just so many different points where this could fail, and obviously it was failing somewhere. So we've decided we're now going to get rid of the interior airlocks altogether. We're still going to go with the bucket idea, but we're going to dedicate a part of a shelf to where that tube's going to go into that bucket inside, and then go in, then have another hose coming out of that bucket, and then going out. And we're going to end up taking the lids essentially, and we're going to be drilling new holes and putting in connectors, so the tube will then come down and just connect right into the lid. And yeah, that'll be it. And hopefully that works, because I'm sick and tired of the smell. Now, there's another way of getting around that, and that's just don't do a wash. You just always do mashes. They don't stink. In fact, they smell really good. But the reality is that for what we're doing, washes are so much more productive. I mean, really, you're not spending nearly the amount of time doing a wash as you are doing a mash, and you got 10 times more to clean up with a mash. Doing a wash, I can fill up, each one of these now are 7.5 gallons, so 7.5 times 4, what's that, 20, like 30 gallons, something like that. 30 gallons of wash ready to go into this bad boy, and it took me 45 minutes to do that. As opposed to if I was trying to make that much wash, I'm spending 5 or 6 hours dealing with it. And it's just, yeah, I'm not making bourbons. If you're doing a bourbon and you're not running a reflux, you're just doing it as a pot still or a one shot, yeah, you're much better off doing a mash than a wash. But for our purposes, this is definitely the way to go. So we're gonna figure that one out, because I'm sick of the smell. But yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a very exciting day. We're gonna have Andreas here. We're gonna do a run, get drunk while we're doing it, record a video actually, and hopefully get that edited and out as our first video this weekend, which would be the weekend of the 15th. That would be very, very awesome if we did. So thank you guys for watching, I guess. Or maybe I just entertained you while you were bored, who the hell knows, but have a good night. Later.
You pausing?
No, this is where like the moose or something came about.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Dude, it freaked me out. Like, I was like, what the shit is going on? And I run upstairs
Can we do away with the profanities?
Oh my God, damn it, no.
Oh, God.
It kills me. So, which is actually a really funny thing, because like most people, so I'm a relatively smart guy, okay? I'm relatively intelligent.
There's no doubt.
But the problem is that what you end up having is when you have somebody who's like intelligent, like take yourself or whatever, right? You hardly ever cuss. Like it's a rare occasion to hear you cuss. It's not rare like it's a unicorn, but like it's I cuss a lot more, obviously, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
And you enjoy it every time I do, but it just doesn't happen often.
Do you know why I figured it out the other day? Because I woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, couldn't go to sleep, and I was thinking about why do I cuss as much as I cuss? It's because of the industry that I work in.
I think it's the company you keep.
Yeah,
at work.
So
outside of my own personal.
Exactly, that's it.
Damn it! This thing.
You gotta stuff it in there, dude.
I believe my ears are not made for this. I'm really screwing it in now. You know what I should do is get a rubber band and wrap it around my head.
There we go. Across like
And
this.
then it'd be like,
So-
hands-free.
So listen, you know what we're gonna do next on episode 4 of the whole, which will still be part of the Frankenstill series.
Yes.
Is we're gonna get rid of these chairs, and I'm bringing the 2 4-wheelers in. And we're gonna put 1 4-wheeler there, 1 4-wheeler here, and
That'd
I'm
be
gonna
good.
take the bigger 4-wheelers.
I'm going to sit like this because it's gonna keep the earbud in.
I don't know how people like work out with these things in their ears, dude.
I honestly, my ears are, I don't think are made for a lot of these things.
Sure. Well, they
Because
make
even in the past, when you had these things attached to your wires and all this stuff, very rarely did I find a set of earbuds that would just sit in your ears that would not fall out when I go run.
Right.
Or something.
So these things right here, they actually make different cup sizes for this thing.
Maybe that's it. I think this might be too big.
You have big ears, man. I'm gonna go with too small.
But the ear,
Your inner ear
the
thing.
inner ear, my
then I've got-
external.
I have really large
my
ear holes.
external meatus
Okay.
is small. That's why.
So I just have big ear holes. Okay, that's what I want to go with. Oh my god. But this is definitely a lot better as far as the setup with the A7.
I think so.
This.
So we're hearing a whole lot of talk about putting the gin basket on the side, which
And it
was
did not work
such a
out.
big failure. However, I say it again, gin tea.
Dude, maybe that's the new drink. We do kind of like it's almost like a green tea, but it actually looks like green tea, doesn't it?
It does, sort of. Hold it up again.
That's my workout for the day.
Yeah.
It also does look like morning piss, like literally like morning piss. But that's my morning, mid, and evening piss. My piss is always yellow like this.
Why are we talking about that?
Because I'm asking a doctor right now, why is my piss always yellow? Like,
Because you don't drink enough. Water.
is that, oh. I was about to say, I drink plenty.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Any other questions there?
No, but I'll tell you
Okay,
something.
yeah.
So last night, I had Austin grab the Bob's gin, right? And I had him bring it over to the house. And I popped 2 of those muscle relaxers. I took like 4 shots of gin, and I slept like a baby. Like it could have been World War III outside. I wouldn't have heard it. Like you could have smacked me.
Goodness.
It was the best night's sleep I've had in like I can't tell you how long. I'd rather not know. Like honestly, I don't want to go in and be like, yeah, you have the C3 blah blah whatever the hell. It's all screwed up and we got to do surgery. And we're gonna fuse these 2 vertebrae together.
You don't ever have to do surgery if you don't want to. But it's at least you want to hear what your options are.
Dude, my wife. My wife will be like, you got to get it done because I want you to be here till you're 80.
And it also will kind of guide the physical therapist if that's the route you want to take.
Okay.
So yes, you do want to know what's going on there.
There are some things that ignorance is bliss.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Yeah, like, what's in here? Gin tea.
Gin tea. So we're just going to talk about the user comments again and some of the subscribers. One of them, Kim Mole, he sent us 2 videos.
First names.
Huh?
First names.
Kim.
Kim.
Okay. Kim. There you go. So Kim sent us 2 videos that we watched, and it was absolutely fascinating. His setup is it's really cool, but it's very steampunk, Mad Max kind of like.
Right. So I don't know how to describe it. I mean, it's
awesome. I mean, he's got so many data points.
Basically, he takes a still, which generally is, you look at it and you see, I mean, he took that whole thing and made it cool.
He did, yeah. He the way that
I mean, like not just cool, but like awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he's got like just everything from his mash tunes to his I guess his wart tank. He's got heated and jacketed. He's got like it's impressive. It's really freaking impressive. So anybody else that's listening to this, if you have videos like that of your own setup, send it to us. We want to see it. We want to talk about it and see what you guys did, and you guys can see what we do, and kind of try and find that perfect balance. I mean, if you think about it, like these big.
I mean, really, what I'm, I see that setup and everything else, and I just want to put like LED lights on ours and various other things, because I'm thinking like, this still can actually look really cool.
He's got like he's got this whole like PID station, and it's got like all the different temperatures of all different sections of the still.
It is insane. It's great.
I loved
it is
it.
superb.
I watched it twice actually on both of them. And the way he set up his self-cleaning still was really cool. He used like this, I don't know if it was like a shower head or like the end of a garden sprayer or something like that. He ended up modifying that to go into this one like type of compartment.
Right. But his way to clean it just seems a lot more conservative for
water. Yeah.
conserving.
Yeah.
Than ours.
Yeah. He
And
does a wash down. We do a fill up.
And exactly. And I say again, so we're not hooked into the city's water. We have well water here. So a little bit of a different premise. So yes, we can be a little more wasteful, I guess, with the water. But at the same time, I love the setup. I just love his setup.
Yeah. So if you guys have any videos of your own setups, you wanted to kind of show them off, we'll send it to us, obviously. We'll either put it on our channel or we'll post a link to where other people can find it and maybe, share ideas on this is what I did, this is what works for us. And so people that are out there struggling with, well, how do I turn my still into a self-cleaning still? Well, there's going to be tons of resources for it. So another user, which this guy is, this guy, David's awesome. David, where's the next video, guys? Right here, David. Right here, man. We're recording it for you right now. So that was sent yesterday.
And quite frankly, we've been somewhat amiss and slow in pumping out these videos. Agreed. Sorry about that. We will try to speed this up and bring out more material in a shorter period of time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. User tech guy.
And keep you guys abreast of what we're doing and how we're doing it and our journey.
Yes.
Into the unknown.
Yep. Another user tech guy had actually suggested we do an experiment, methanol experiment, and so we're gonna work on that in the next couple weeks. So if you guys have any ideas or you want to have us try something, let us know. We'll give it a shot. And then I don't know how to say this name, and I'm terrible. Lain.
Lane. Just say Lane.
Okay, Lane.
Yeah.
He was asking about. He actually really liked the fermenting station that we set up with fast ferments.
Yeah.
And I sent him some links on where to buy, how to buy, and that if he's doing like one, you want to buy this one kit that comes with the base. If you're buying, if you're doing multiple.
Well, basically, if you have one fermenting station, then just put it on rollers.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, because that way you can actually roll this back and forth because those bulbs are heavy.
Yeah.
I mean they are liftable, but quite frankly, like
it's awkward.
It's awkward, and there's always a risk of just dropping it and the whole thing just exploding on your floor. So yeah, if you just want to have one station, build the station, the rack with two rollers underneath, because that way it's just mobile and you can roll it to your still and tilt it right in there, and you don't actually have to lift the damn thing.
You still do want to get the one then that has the base though, because you're going to have to take that bulb off from time to time, like to do cleanings or to do like fill-ups and things like that. So if you're just doing one, get the one that has the base. If you're doing multiple, get the one that has the base, because you need one base at least, and then just buy the other one that I sent you the link for that is just the wall hooks, the wall mounts. And then that'll save you a bunch of money. I think it's like there's like a $35 or $25 price difference between the two just because of the base. So there's that. And then keep them coming. Like ask whatever question you want to ask. There's one. Oh, we have a guy that is in Bel Air, Maryland. He is a commercial brewer. So he makes beer for a living. That's what he does. But he's now starting to get into distilling. He wants to come down and do a visit and hang out and all that other good stuff. So we're going to try and plan that for some time mid-March.
We absolutely love that kind of opportunity to get together with fellow distillers, brewers, and basically interested parties, and expand our horizon here also.
Absolutely. So we're going to try to do something like that mid to late March. I'll reach out to you with some dates, and we'll figure out a weekend where we can come down and hang out and all that other kind of good stuff, which would be a lot of fun, I think. And then we have another guy. This guy is Chef Andrew. Chef Andrew was a private chef that we hired for my wife's birthday to do steaks and seafood. It was amazing.
I was not part of that. It
we
was
didn't
private between the two of them,
so much
of course,
fun.
and that's how it should have been.
But he knows all the top bartenders in DC. He also is friends with Wolfgang Puck, and he's also friends with the guy by the name of he's an actor, Justin Long. He was in like Accepted, Dodgeball. He's been in a bunch of stuff. Tuck. This movie Tuck he did was weird, but yeah. So he's actually friends with him. So he's going to come in and we're going to record some videos of trying some different ingredients that a chef who has a much more refined palate than you or I.
Yeah,
Give those things a go.
much more trained, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going to come in. We're going to do some gin experiments using things like black lime. We're going to try black cardamom instead of green cardamom. Different type of juniper berries from a different country that we're getting them right now from Morocco.
Yeah.
So we're going to try different country.
To be honest, I personally like the Moroccan ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
give it a
certainly
go.
want to see what others are like.
Yeah, and then we're going to do a gin run. We're going to proof it, polish it, proof it, of course, and then we're going to give him some samples, and he's going to take it out to his different bartending buddies that are around. I guess apparently the top bartender in DC's name is Derek or something. I don't know. I don't go to many bars. I just make my own alcohol. So it's like, yeah.
We just drink it here.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that's it. That's the stuff we have coming up. We have some more Frankenstill videos. We have, some users that are going to come by. We have some users that have said to do some tests. We're going to build and construct a thumper, and we're going to do a thumper test. That will be more April, May, maybe June by the time we get around to that one. But if you have any suggestions, any comments, any questions, feel free to either email us directly, comment on the videos. Please subscribe. Or don't.
So subscriptions are not mandatory. Obviously, if you like it and you want to subscribe, we would love it.
Yep.
And thank you for it. If not, no worries at all.
Oh, I did forget to mention something. Lane, is that what we're saying it?
Yes.
Lane, okay. So Lane, hold off on buying them. We're actually going to be doing a sweepstakes coming up, and we're still working out some of the details and the rules, but we're going to be giving away a fast ferment. So just stay tuned. Keep watching the videos. Here within the next 2 or 3 videos, there'll be all the details of giving away a fast ferment, and also I think we're going to give away a PID. We're giving a PID away.
That's on the cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
PID is on the cards.
Yeah.
We'll let you guys know what it is, and we'll go from there. Otherwise, guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day.
Cheers. Where's mine?
Oh, you're just gonna grab the whole.
Gin tea.
Thank you.